The Houston Texans might be interested in some help behind Joe Mixon. Is this veteran the right approach for the Texans? Let's talk about it, powered by my friends at Draft Kits. The best way to take your in-home fantasy draft to the next level is with Draft Kits. Get you a customized, reusable, year-after-year draft board. My friends at Draft Kits get 10% off with my code CODY25. Hit the description for more information. So the Houston Texans have veteran running back Nick Chubb on their radar, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. The veteran running back has been a free agent all offseason after starting his career with the Cleveland Browns, and Chubb was fantastic before his terrible knee injury a couple of years ago. Early in the season, knee injury costs him all of 2023, a portion of 2024. Gets back on the field for the Browns. He's okay in Cleveland, and ultimately the season is over for him after 8 games with the Browns via another injury, and haven't had a lot of interest in Nick Chubb, the NFL, up until this point. So he's on the Texans' radar. Before we talk about Chubb, let's talk about the Texans' running back situation as a whole and why Chubb would even be on the radar. So the Texans' running backs that are currently on the roster, we all know about Joe Mixon. We don't know exactly what Mixon's status is. Aaron Willis of KPRC reporting Mixon had been in a walking boot with minicamp this week. Mixon, maybe he's there, maybe he's working out, maybe he's there not working out. But with a Mixon and potentially an off-season injury to monitor, there's a little bit of a question mark there. Plus, when you think about how much football Joe Mixon has played in his career, you just get worried about the wear and tear finally catching up on a running back. Because when it goes fast for these running backs at the NFL level. So you'd like to have a good backup plan in case Mixon can't go, and the Texans don't have one. I know you see Dameon Pierce's name and Dare Ogunbowale's name there, but I don't believe that either of those players should be running back 2 for this team, nor do I believe that either of those players currently are capable of handling what running back 2 would be if there was no Joe Mixon in front of them. Sure, a snap here or there for Pierce and Ogunbowale or some of the other running backs, that's fine if you've got Mixon, but the reason you think about a guy like Chubb, or the reason you get worried, is if you don't have Joe Mixon. Dameon Pierce, it was really good as a rookie, and then it just hasn't been good since then. And you wonder if between the ears and the confidence is at such a level that maybe it's not going to click for him. Dare Ogunbowale, he's never going to be a true running back 2. He is best used as a special teamer, a third down running back. And it's worth noting, when Nick Caserio talked about both of these running backs this offseason, he first mentioned their special teams prowess and not the fact that they could be in the running back depth chart and be in the mix for that running back 2 spot. So Pierce and Ogunbowale, I have them there because they've played for this team. Even though it's a new offense, they've played for the team for a couple of years now. The team's familiar with them, familiar with what they can do, and they've got more experience than the rookie, Woody Marks. Now, Marks, he was the feature back at USC this past season. It feels like he was best cast as a third down running back coming out of the draft. The Texans drafted him in the 4th round, and I believe probably right off the bat, Woody Marks can handle those third down running back duties, maybe making Dare Ogunbowale expendable, but I don't buy that Woody Marks could end up being a solution should you not have Joe Mixon available. Feels like Marks fits in better with Mixon than trying to replace Mixon if you don't have the stud running back for the Houston Texans. So again, not really an option there. And then you see 3 more names. I don't even know if they're going to make the team, how close they are to making the team. British Brooks didn't even play running back for this team last year. He's more of a fullback, tight end, hybrid type of player before an injury robbed him of the 2024 season. J.J. Taylor was up a little bit on the team, played a little bit, but with his size and stature, he's just not a running back 2 option. And then Jawar Jordan on and off the practice squad for the Texans last year. Again, don't know if he's going to even make the team. So that's the running back situation. As you see here, behind Joe Mixon, if you don't have somebody that you're going to add to the equation, your running back 2 spot is a big question mark. You're betting on Dameon Pierce finally figuring it out and bouncing back, or Dare Ogunbowale being able to hold it down for you. And again, maybe with this offense, under Nick Caley and a little bit better offensive line play and maybe a little bit better passing attack, you could survive a day or two without Joe Mixon, but you're not surviving a month without Joe Mixon if he gets hurt and you got to go to Damian Pierce and Daria Gumbawale and Woody Marks and whatever else you may have on the roster. So that's why I would think the Texans would be interested in a veteran body. I just don't know if it's the right veteran body. I know that Draft Kits is right for you if you want to take your draft to the next level. Beautiful custom draft boards. You want to put you in a king's chair as the background for your draft board because you're the champ. That's awesome. You want to put the loser on there, an embarrassing picture of him, maybe from high school, or a terrible haircut that he had as the back picture. You can do that too. The options are endless. The prices are great, and the quality is tip top. I used Draft Kits to make my league that I've had for over a decade now, a customized draft board. The guys were so pumped about it. They loved it. I loved it. The quality's incredible. Even the drunk friend ripping it off the wall couldn't harm the draft board. They're great. Get 10% off with the code CODY25, CODY 25. Check out the link in the description for more information, my friends at Draft Kits. So let's talk about Chubb. What does Nick Chubb bring to the table? Can he help the Houston Texans? I'm skeptical that Chubb is the guy to be chasing in this situation and in this scenario. And I think the positive for Chubb, the thing that you would say is, hey, he's a hard-nosed runner. He can get some tough yards for you. And even if he's maybe lost a little bit of a step, the physicality that he brings to the position is a positive, and he's getting further and further away from that serious knee injury. Obviously, last year, a year removed, a year and a few weeks removed, there's still going to be some getting used to and bouncing back for Chubb. So the further he gets away from that, in 2025, it'd be 2 years in September since the serious knee injury versus, a year and a couple of weeks like it was last year. Maybe there's a little bit more to Nick Chubb. That'd be the positive there for Chubb. The negatives, there's a lot of them. He wasn't very good last year, and I understand Cleveland was a bad offensive line last year. Cleveland's kind of always had a rough offensive line situation. Even when it was decent, it was still, Nick Chubb was making some things happen, and he didn't showcase a lot of that dynamic ability, career lows in a lot of the stuff that he brought to the table, including yards per attempt, 3.3 yards per attempt. That was cut in half almost from what he was putting up prior to his injury in 2023, showcasing that he is very much not the same type of running back. He doesn't really give you any pass catching prowess as well. I just don't know that Chubb really fits exactly what the Texans would be looking for as that player that, let's just say, Joe Mixon's out for 4 weeks. This guy's got to take over Mixon's workload or a good portion of Mixon's workload for 4 weeks. I don't know that Chubb fits that situation for the Texans. I do know a name that does fit that situation, though. It's also a veteran. It's also a free agent, also a guy with an injury history, but he was still pretty good last year, and that's J.K. Dobbins. Now, Dobbins recently visited with the Denver Broncos. He left Denver without a deal. If you're looking for a veteran running back that could maybe have a running back 2 on lock, could spell Mixon for a couple of carries when Mixon's healthy, or you'd be a little bit more comfortable without Joe Mixon, I like J.K. Dobbins for that spot. Last year for the Chargers, over 900 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns as well for Dobbins, 4.6 yards per an attempt, which was really good for Dobbins coming off of a serious injury in 2023. He bounced back from his injury a little bit better than Nick Chubb. It was also a less serious injury. But if you're thinking about a veteran, Nick Chubb, I don't know, is that guy. I like J.K. Dobbins. Now it takes 2 to tango. And for Chubb, I'm sure he's thinking, hey, a job's a job. Let me get in there and prove that I'm not an injured guy, that I'm not the version that you saw last year, and maybe you'll be surprised. For Dobbins, he's got a little bit more choosiness to his opportunities. He was successful last year. He's a guy that's had a good amount of success in the league, and maybe he wants a little bit more opportunity, something where he could wiggle his way into more carries. A healthy Joe Mixon really kind of eliminates the need for running back too, because you can run Mixon a lot, and then when it's third down, you could turn to Dare Ogunbowale if he's on the team as the third down back, or you could turn to Woody Marks if he's on the team as the third down back, and that would be your kind of 2 running back rotation for most of the games with a running back 2 spell here or there. So Chubb, I understand why he could be on the radar, maybe not Dobbins. I'd prefer Dobbins to Chubb if the Texans were indeed interested. And if you're Nick Chubb, hey, time's a ticking, bud. Yeah, these other guys got a head start on you on this offense, getting used to their teammates. And with minicamp this week, if Chubb's got to make it happen, he needs to make it happen quick, get in there and start learning. And then he'll have the summer to kind of cram, get you ready for training camp. Or maybe he doesn't want to cram and he'll just kick it until training camp. And maybe the Texans look around, they see they don't like what they have behind Joe Mixon. They got to go get a guy like Chubb or Dobbins. I'd be okay with Dobbins. Chubb's fine, but I'd be okay with Dobbins as well. So what do you think? Nick Chubb, thumbs up, thumbs down? Let me know in the comment section down below. Is there a different veteran running back that you'd like more than Nick Chubb? Throw the name in the comment section down below on your way down there. Throw me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget, Draft Kits is the place to go for your custom reusable draft board. They are the best, man. I love the stickers they send you with the draft board too. Got the player's face on there, their team name, the bye week. It's great when you're up there trying to stick it and pick it. The more information, the easier it is to read on those big stickers, the better. Draft Kits is the best. Love them. Hey, the guy that runs it, Texans fan, just like you. It's a Texas business as well. And support a fellow Texans fan and take your draft to the next level with my friends at Draft Kits. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.